I'm going to apologize, I woke up with a bit of a cold today. Today I will be refuting the claim presented by Tiffany that automatic braking for automobiles will cause more accidents than preventing them. My claim is that automatic braking for automobiles will prevent accidents and increase occupant and pedestrian safety. The three main claims that I'll be responding to are: an increase of accidents will occur because not all automobiles will have the feature, drivers will not have experience with auto braking and make mistakes, and larger automobiles will not be able to be controlled by this feature. A little background on the subject: automatic braking was largely developed by Volvo for its passenger vehicles. It is part of the campaign Volvo Vision 2020, which they aim to have no fatalities or serious injuries in a Volvo vehicle by 2020. This has sparked a huge research and development surge at Volvo since they've introduced and pioneered many new safety features, among the latest is their auto brake system, which now includes pedestrian and cyclist safety with full auto brake. Other manufacturers have followed suit in order to remain competitive. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety ranks new vehicles' automatic braking capabilities in three categories: superior, advanced, and basic. 8 vehicles that are available to purchase today have scored as superior. Among these include the BMW 5 Series, X5, Hyundai Genesis, and Mercedes E-Class, to name a couple. Let's look at the claims. Tiffany's original claim stated that an increase of accidents will occur because not all automobiles will have the automatic braking feature. This claim is not relevant. It ignores the fact that systems are designed as an aid for drivers, not a substitute for responsible driving. She argues that unexpected stops will create accidents, but the National Safety Council advises a 3-second or more following distance from the car in front of you. This is subject to road conditions in which poor conditions require more time to stop. She also argues that 25 miles an hour is not a realistic speed for everyday life, but the test speed of 25 miles an hour was chosen because it's intended to represent an urban environment where pedestrians and cyclists are present. Her second main claim is that drivers will not have experience with vehicles that have auto braking features, therefore the drivers are going to make mistakes. This is also not an acceptable claim to make. These systems are intended to alert the driver first of an imminent collision with audible and visible warnings, and then if the system determines a crash is imminent, it will initiate crash imminent braking. In the original speech, evidence from Volvo's test of the S60 city safety automatic braking features was cited. However, the evidence was incorrect and outdated. The test originally took place in 2010, not 2013 as stated. Since then, Volvo has further developed its systems, adding in pedestrian safety and cyclist safety to that same system. The failure of the test was due to a low voltage battery in the vehicle, which was on display throughout the media event during the day. This provided insufficient power to the system and failed to prevent a crash. This is not a normal circumstance. Despite most motorists being unaware that their vehicle is equipped with the system, it provides an audible and visible warning to alert the driver a crash is imminent, so that they can apply the brakes themselves. They won't unexpectedly apply the brakes without warning. If the driver's not paying attention and they're startled by the audible warning, they can take their foot off the accelerator and the system will not automatically brake for them. It will fall back to a safe following distance. Another argument presented is that drivers need to be cautious in tight places because close proximity to objects will trigger the system. These systems will use both radar and cameras in conjunction to create a field of view in front of and to the side of the vehicle. In addition to blind spot monitoring systems, they're able to detect objects approaching from the side, like motorcycles. If the system determines the object is a threat, it will create an audible and visible warning before initiating braking. Her third main claim is that larger automobiles will not be able to be controlled by this feature of auto braking. Large trucks can be successfully controlled by this feature of automatic braking. They rely upon the same basic 2-step process as smaller passenger vehicles, but do require more time to stop. Trucks and smaller passenger vehicles require different stopping distances. According to the California DMV, a vehicle traveling at 55 miles per hour requires about 400 feet to stop. A larger truck can take double that, about 800 feet to stop. This is, of course, all dependent on the load that each vehicle is carrying. Volvo has successfully introduced its collision warning system with emergency brake on its latest truck, the Volvo FH. In a demonstration published online, the FH was loaded with 40 tons and sent down a highway at 70 kilometers per hour, which is approximately 45 miles per hour, and came to a complete stop without hitting the passenger vehicle in front of it. Because of this, in Europe, emergency braking systems will be a legal requirement in new trucks by November 2015. In conclusion, as technology progresses each year, the ability and capability of automatic braking systems will continue to grow. Automatic braking systems will prevent accidents, which will ultimately save lives and increase occupant and pedestrian safety.
All right, Andrew, I thought that you labeled the points very clearly. You do a good job in talking to the audience at the beginning. The updated information about what the whole program is and how that got started and how companies are kind of competing with each other on this braking technology, I thought was helpful to kind of give us a little bit more context. I don't remember that context was provided by the advocate on this issue. The rankings of the different braking systems is interesting, but I don't know why that gets presented except as background information. Because the question is really, do they work? One of the questions that I still have lingering in my head is how long is it going to take for these cars to be widely enough used that it's going to have an impact on accidents. I'm sure that Volvo and maybe others have projections about when that impact is going to be and how many they have to sell, but I never heard any reference either from you or the advocate on this particular point. On the arguments that the advocate presented, I thought that you did a good job addressing each one and giving us explanations. I think there's one of the counterclaims is, look, this is not it's not designed to substitute for the driver. It's a warning for the driver, so it's a supplement. It's not a replacement in those situations, and I thought you explained that pretty well. There's a good explanation about how it works. The question about the testing procedure was okay. There's on the second point you mentioned, for instance, the example that the advocate cites that there was a particular problem. There wasn't a citation of evidence on that point. I assume that you found information someplace, so you ought to cite it on that particular point. Once again, it's really about alerting the driver to be making those decisions, and that it's a supplement, not a replacement. And so I think that there's a good application of that argument consistently on those other points. On the third point, the truck example I thought was pretty effective. You've given us a good counter example on this point. I don't know that you've directly attacked the reasoning and evidence that the advocate presents, but if the premise of the advocate's argument was all about the weight or the distance, and you've shown that weight and distance can be accounted for in the new systems, then I think that addresses the problem. That's the way you want to phrase it. For the most part, I thought the summary was excellent. You kind of tell us what the point is that you're trying to make, and I think that it makes the argument more coherent than just all the technical stuff that you're getting to on the individual points. And even though you're not feeling well, you sounded pretty good. I hope you feel better, and stay far away from me. All right, Sophie.